Get ready for some great music and great stories. Band in Seattle starts right now. Welcome to Band in Seattle. I'm Xander Denke, and with me is Abby Williamson, music writer, photographer, and video blogger, to talk about tonight's band, Brent Amaker and the Rodeo.
If you took the stage presence and theatrics of Devo and David Bowie, the spaghetti western themes of Ennio Morricone, and a voice deeper than Johnny Cash, then you've got Brent Amaker and the Rodeo. They're like a legit Tarantino movie in music form. Stetsons and all, this troupe of cowboys are in a league all their own. You'd be hard up to find a band around here that puts on more of a show than Brent Amaker and the Rodeo.
Yeehaw! We'll be right back with Brent Amaker and the Rodeo.
If you were going to say to somebody, what is a Brent Amaker and the Rodeo experience? What is it like?
I mean, this is like the best answer, I guess. Huge pause.
I always describe it to people as half art and half music.
Sort of this old cowboy country, like 1960s, like Ennio Morricone and like Western music, mixed with this Devo sensibility of kind of like freaking people out and doing this whole like putting on a big show for everybody.
It's like Western music from the future.
We like to present some drama in our act, and we like to create tension.
Always been the same throughout the history of the band. The people that have been in the band, they, play and behave a certain way in the band that it kind of brings something different out in you.
Oh, come on, we're all freaks in some way, and it's what makes humanity interesting. Where it gets not so interesting is when people try to hide it, and there's something about the rodeo that allows players to let some weird part of themselves out. I've seen it time and time again with my band.
To the rodeo. Welcome to the rodeo. I'm Brent Amaker, and this is the rodeo.
When we first started the band, we had to buy our own hat, and so everyone had cheap hats. And even I had a cheaper hat at first for the first tour that I did. It was kind of a bummer because he just doesn't look cohesive, and no one wants to spend a couple $100s on a nice Stetson.
So that's probably the biggest piece of rodeo lore is when you're the new cowboy, you get a Stetson, and Brent takes you to go get your Stetson, it takes a minute to get used to, but then you kind of get used to it, and it's an interesting power in that.
At first it felt kind of funny, and then it felt very much like at home, you know what I mean? Like it made sense.
In the end, we're all doomed. Even if you're living on the moon, we're all doomed. Super volcano near. Even if we get out of here, we're all doomed. We're all doomed. Enjoy your stay while you're here. We're doomed.
Some people love it. Some people want to pick a fight. It depends on where you are and what the situation is. When we go on tour, we don't bring change of clothes other than a clean pair of underwear and clean socks and clean t-shirts that go underneath.
And tell your friends before they're dead. Love is the only legacy you leave behind.
We're living it like this. So by the time one of my cowboys gets on stage, it's not like they're putting a costume on. There is no costume. This is who we are. It's what we are.
Even if you're living all over the world, doomed. How about that meteor flying across the sky? If it hits the earth, we're gonna die. Everyone dies. So take this time and pass the blood around.
Brent like gets an idea. Sometimes the initial reaction is, oh man, I don't think that's gonna work. And he just makes it work. He's like a dreamer and he's like a facilitator. Like those are his best qualities.
I'm the man in charge, I got the plan. I'm a freight train coming around the bend. I'm your worst fear, I'm your best friend. I'm banging at the door, so you better let me in. I won't give you no advice, but I'll tell you what to do. Keep your mouth shut, it's the best thing from you. I got a lot of miles and the fire's going down, but the train's still coming, just listen to the sound. Like squealing of the brakes when you try to stop the car. You're burning up inside, cause you don't know who you are. Good God, get your head together.
And I listened to music a little bit and I was like, this is crazy. I love it. He's kind of like this sci-fi Iggy Pop Devo guy.
He's one of those guys that like as soon as you start talking out, he like just zeroes in on you, you know?
Brent's a good songwriter. He's really funny. He's a great guy to be around. He's really fun to tour with. Things get a little crazy sometimes, but I mean, what can I say? It's Brent Amaker, you know?
Like a barn is burning down, and the fire has to breathe. So you open up a door and give it what it needs. Like squealing of the brakes when you try to stop the car. You're burning up inside, cause you don't know who you are. Goddamn, get your head together.
I grew up in Oklahoma. In the 1980s, I played in new wave and punk rock bands. After I moved to Seattle, me and some fellows decided we'd start a Western band playing music that embodied the spirit of the West, but was something, an entity that was living today in modern times.
I'm a freight train coming.
I write songs by myself at home, but then I'm a big believer in surrounding yourself with talent and making whatever project you're working on bigger than it would be if you did it by yourself. And I'm very fortunate. I've got a lot of really talented guys in my project.
I'm your worst fear. I'm your best friend. Freight train coming round the bend. I'm your worst fear.
From the beginning, this has been a conceptual band with all elements in place, and we work very hard at that, and we try to not only be musicians and songwriters, but entertainers. And that's what I want to see when I go see a band play. Talent, good looks, style. You know, you gotta have it all. You're only as good as your worst looking or worst playing band member. I've always believed that.
I'm your best friend. Freight train coming round the bend. I'm your worst fear. I'm your best friend. Freight train coming round the bend. I'm your
If you'd ever want a band to back you up in a fight, it's Brent Amaker and the Rodeo. Maybe not because they'd be able to take somebody down, but because they could intimidate the crap out of whomever they were going against. I, for one, love how seriously they take themselves. I don't think the Rodeo would work if they didn't.
It wouldn't. We'll be right back with Brent Amaker and the Rodeo.
I've got eyes for you, you know I do. Everybody else can go to hell.
Me and my wifey's wedding day, we went to Las Vegas. We got married in a mildew-ridden medieval chapel by a short, fat Elvis. It was called the Garden of Love.
I'm a desperate man.
The tall Elvis was booked for another wedding. We didn't schedule it in advance. We can get you an Elvis, but he's short and he's fat.
Young man, and stand in the garden of love.
I think this is the first time we've actually played it live for the show. But it's just a love song that Brent wrote a long time ago, and we've always liked it and always kind of pushed to do it.
If you are ever in a jam, you want Ben Straley on your side.
Ben doesn't like it when I eat his food while we're on the road.
Benny Straley is one of the top-notch dudes on the planet.
Burning in the sun.
Well, my hat's, it's been around for a while now. It's probably the longest running hat in the rodeo right now. Brent's replaced his several times, but my hat's almost probably 8 years old now, and it's toured all over the world, and it's got a lot of sweat and beer and probably whiskey on it.
Love is like a flower.
Brent always liked me wearing the mask, and so I always said, I'll wear the mask as long as you put on the cape before every show. It's a real mask. You gotta go to a sex store to get it, but when a cowboy walks into a sex store dressed all in black, they love it. They're more than willing to help you out.
I've got eyes for you, you know I do. Everybody else can go to hell.
Garden of Love.
You can play it on acoustic alone and it works, but then the outro goes into sci-fi Ennio Morricone thing, and it's cool. And it has that classic rodeo chant.
You got to work for everything you want in life. That's what Boots is about.
We all put our boots on, 1 foot at a time.
Well, wisdom comes with age. Why you gotta keep making these mistakes? You're never gonna grow if you walk the same road every day.
I'm Johnny Nails. I'm the lead guitar player for Brent Amaker and the Rodeo. Bang.
I got a scar on my head from beating my head against the wall. Hard to watch you slip, you don't learn from the fall.
Ryan Leva, Mr. Johnny Nails. I've known him the longest of anybody in the group. He's the one that brought me into the fold. Just always a lot of laughs. You know, he's just such a character.
He fit the bill right away. He just fit in right away.
Make me your friend. Ain't really no big thing. You're just washing your life down the drain.
I was that kid who gave up sports at like 12 and sat in the basement for 8 hours a day playing guitar. That drills music into you, and it's ear training, and it's years of doing it. You know, it doesn't just happen overnight, and you have to spend time doing it and working on it, or else you are gonna not be able to do it.
Johnny Nails.
with the bass player, who's Jordan, who is new. And I have one question for you that I'm sure everybody's dying to know. Fingernails. What's going on with the fingernails there?
He's a sexy bitch.
Well, I'm heading down the road and it ain't rocking back. Ain't crowd pumping in a pink Pontiac. If you're thinking of run, let me tell you why you're not. You're the prey on the cat. You're the fish that just got caught.
Jordan is it's just a pleasure to be playing music with. He brings a whole new spirit to the project, and that's one of the real benefits of evolution. You truck along and you do this thing for 10 years, and the new guy is in a brand new band, and that spirit kind of oozes out to everybody else. It feels like a new band to us.
Yeah, playing with the rodeo was the first time I'd ever done anything in the realm of country and Western music. And not that I'm not a fan of it, but I just never had really immersed myself in that very much. So like playing in that group, I know a lot of my friends were surprised, like when they saw pictures on the internet of me with like the cowboy hat on and everything. Realizing there was this whole get-up involved in the whole production of it, like I understood the whole project a little bit more, I think, after that.
Oh, hi. I'm Jacques Willis. I play cowbell and vibraphone in Brent Amaker and the Rodeo.
I think Brent saw him play in a band, and he's like, I just met the craziest guy. He plays vibraphone. He's really good. We got to try him out, you know? We're just like, how's it gonna work? So he came into practice and learned a few songs, and he just fit right in.
Brent doesn't really want to have steel guitar or fiddle, so I'm filling the role of that. I mean, it's kind of like a novelty specialty instrument. And honestly, it's visually pleasant. So, you know, people are like, oh, there's a big piece of furniture on stage. They must be great.
He also is an ultimate fighter doing submissive wrestling, believe it or not. And so he's a great guy to have on your side when you go into a town that doesn't like cowboys.
Sun will shine, 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 shine down on me. This is the land of opportunity. Got time for work and time for play. Living in the USA. The wheels go round and round and round and round and round and round and round they go. I'll get mine and you'll get yours, and when we leave we'll get some more to go. Oh, baby, that's all I need. Kick back, rest your feet. I found a place where we can stay. Living in the USA.
Brian, the kid, he's in Texas, so we rehearse, a few weeks without him, kind of just polishing up. And it's always kind of, okay, the band sounds okay. And once Brian gets to town and he kicks it into gear, man, it's the rodeo.
Yeah, he is just such a unique drummer. He just creates an energy and an excitement with two drums. All he's got is two drums. Generally speaking, you move to Texas, you're going to be replaced pretty quick. So we've been flying him in for some shows. He's a great drummer.
I'm really comfortable with the band. I think Brent's really comfortable with me. The way that I play, I think it would just take a long time to train up another drummer. In a way, it's worth it for me to just fly up and do a number of shows when they need me to come up.
I'm riding down to Reno, 600 miles to go. I hope my luck is changing. Let's take it down the road. The road can be a mother. Do you know what I mean? I'm riding down to Reno. Let's get some gasoline. Turn another corner, gone another 60 miles. My oil bag is leaking. I got bug in my eye. Oh, Reno. That's where I need to be.
Well, Brent wrote a song called Reno, and this little town in Nevada changed the name to it.
Johnny Nails. sister on this motorcycle trip. Lady luck tied me up and beat me with a whip. Oh Lord, I'm up for sunshine this trip. I'm riding down Reno. You can find me at the strip.
I don't honestly know where it's going, although I can say that I'm proud to be surrounded with the most talented group of players I've had. Something's going to happen. Something's got to happen. I don't know what it's going to be. Right now, I'm going to enjoy this time and look back.
Riding down Reno. Let's giddy up and go.
Well, that's it for tonight's Band in Seattle. If you want to hear more, check us out on bandinseattle.com, where you can hear full concerts and find links for more information about our bands and where they're playing next. Abby?
And if you want to join me in navigating this rich and beautiful music scene, hit me up on YouTube. If you type in my name, I'll be right there.
Perfect. Thanks for watching. Join us next week for more great music and great stories on Band in Seattle.